Hello guys, in this video we're going to talk about the chapter 2 test, factorization of the polynomials. So first of all, in question 1a, they're asking about whether each following is a factorization or expansion. So factorization means that before you don't have the bracket, now you need to take out the common factor and then you're getting the bracket. So expansion means that you don't want the bracket, so there's no more bracket. Okay, so that's the difference between factorization and expansion. So first of all, in the first question, we're actually taking out 4 as the common factor, and then you're adding the bracket, so that's going to be the factorization. And for the second one, before we got the bracket, and after that, we don't have the bracket. So if there's no brackets, means that you are doing the expansions. So for the second question, it's going to be expansion. Okay, so for 1b, you're going to expand x plus 5 times x plus 6. So first of all, we can use the x times the x, and then we use the x times 6x. So this one will give you x times x will give you x squared. So this one is using the x times the x. And the second one, you get the x times the 6. So now you can get plus the x times 6. So for the third one, you're going to be using the 5 times the x together with the 5 times the 6. So now you have the 5 times the x plus the 5 times 6. So if you combine them together, the 6x plus 5x will give you 11x. So now we have this is equal to x squared plus 11x plus 30. So for the second part, 6x squared. So x squared is writing as x times x. So first of all, we can write the whole thing to become 6x times x plus 6x. So now you can see that the 6 is the common factor together with the x as the common factor as well. So now you can take out 6x as the common factor, and after you're taking out the common factor, you give a bracket, isn't it? So 6x, take out the 6 and x. So what we left is just the x. And in the second part, 6x is both taken out. If there's nothing left, means you still need to write a 1 here, isn't it? So into plus the 1. So remember this one, if you're taking out all of the factors, the remaining factor should be 1, so don't write nothing. Okay, so if you take out all of the factors, means that there's still 1 is waiting for you. So take out 6x, you still get this 1 as the factor left. Okay, so that's for question 1c. So for question 2, we're going to ask about whether something is the common factor of 3x and 9x squared. So first of all, 3x and 9x squared. Like if this 6x is going to be the common factors, means that a 3 is going to be the 6 multiples, but it's actually wrong, so that for the first one it's going to be false. Because actually 6 is greater than 3, how come 6 be the factor of 3, which is impossible, right? So now we have the xy is a common factor of 4xy and 6y squared. So in this question we can write as 6xy times y and 6xy. So x and y, so there is x and y, there is x and y as well. So we can say that xy is actually a common factor. They're not asking about the greatest common factor, they're just asking about common factor. So both of the xy appear in this equation, then that's all right. So for the second part, we have 2ab squared, which means that we need to write 2ab times b. So if you look at the first part, there's b to the power of 6. Which means that it's b times b times b times b times b times b. So there's actually the b squared here, so that's all right. So there's actually an a here as well, and 8 is the multiple of 2, so that we can write this is the correct one. So let's see for this one, 2a squared b. We only have one b here, but what we want is b times b. So this b is not enough to be the b squared's common factor, so it's going to be the false. So the third one is going to be false, second one just said is true. So now we move to the third questions. We have 9a plus 15b. So first of all, we need to find out the common factor between the 19 and 15. So first of all, the 9 can be written as 3 times 3a, isn't it? And we can write the 15 to become 3 times 5b. So now we need to find out something common in these two terms. So 3 is our common factor, 3 is another common factor. So now we can take out the 3 as the common factor. So every time you find out a common factor, you need to write it down first. A lot of people just missing this common factor. Okay, so remember to write it down. So after taking out the 3, you need to put a bracket here. And then you look at here, 3 times 3a. You take out the 3, so what we left is just 3a. So what we have is 3a at the left-hand side. And then we keep the sign. And then now we see this 3 times 5b. We take out the 3, so what we left is just the 5b. So what we have is plus 5b. So for question 4, 20e minus 30. So 20 and 30 is definitely get a factor of 10. So we can write it as 10 times 2 times e minus 10 times 3. So for now, we get a 10 as our common factor. So we can take it out, and it's going to be equal to 10. So after you take out a common factor, you give a bracket, okay? So 10 times 2 times e, you take out a 10, so what we left is just 2 times e. Just write down 2e. And then for 10 times 3, you take out 10, so what we have is just 3. So remember to keep the middle sign is the minus here. You don't need to change it, okay? So again, when you take out a common factor, you must to add a bracket afterwards, all right? So let's see for the next part. So for this part, if you think the negative here is very hard, we can change the position of this two thing. We can move it to the left-hand side first. So we can first of all write that as the 6 minus 24f. So it actually looks better. So what we're going to do is to write the 24 as the factor of 6 as well. So we have 6 minus 6 times 4f. So now we have the 6 as the common factor. So we take that out. After you take out a common factor, you give a bracket directly. And then for here, 6, only the 6. So we take out a 6. Is there nothing? No, we still got a 1 here. Remember that? When we take out the whole factor, then there's still a number 1 standing here. Okay, so 6 taking out 6, we still have the 1 here. We keep the sign. And for this one, 6 times 4f, we take out the 6, so what we left just 4f. So 1 minus 4f. So question 6, they are both the even number, so we can take out 2 as the common factor. If you look at carefully, we can write it as 2 times 5, and x squared can be written as x times x. 14 can be written as 2 times 7, and still have the x. So now we can find out the common factor of them. We have 2 on the left, we have 2 on the right. We have 1x on the left, 1x on the right. So we firstly take out the common factor, 2x. After taking it out, give the bracket. So 2, 5x times x. I clear out the 2, we clear out the x, so what we left is just 5x. And then we keep the middle sign. We take out the 2, we take out the x, so what we left is the 7. So now we have 5x minus 7. So that's the answer for question 6. Now we're going to do the question 7. We have the h minus 2h squared. So first of all, we don't want to square, we just change it to the normal thing. So h squared means that h times h. So now we can say that the h is the only common factor. So we take it out h. So when you take out h from h, there's still a 1 standing there. So remember to write a 1 minus 2h times h. We take out 1h, we still have 2h. So we can write a 1 minus 2h. And now we can go into do question 8. So 4 and 28. Like the 28 is the multiple of 4. So we can write it as 4k times k minus 4 times 5 times k times y. So now we can say that the 4 is the common factor. K is actually the common factor as well. So now we take out the 4k, then we write a bracket immediately. So 4k times k divided by 4k, we still left a dot k. So we have a dot k minus 4 times 7 times k times y. We eliminate the 4 and k. What we left is just 7 times y. So the answer would be 4k bracket k minus 7y. So that's for question 8. So now we can do question 9. So in these questions, don't expand it, okay? If you expand it, that's going to be wrong. Expand means that you don't want a bracket, but the question is asking us to do the factorize. So factorize means given more bracket, okay? So for 2a plus 1 plus xa plus 1. So what's that mean? We can see that this is the left part, this is the right part. Is there anything in common? We got a plus 1 as the common factor. So we take out the a plus 1 and a plus 1. So if we take out this as a common factor, we still need to write a bracket here. Okay, so after you take out a common factor, then you add a bracket behind, okay? So now we have 2a plus 1. We erased a plus 1, so what we left is just 2 plus x times a plus 1 sum. So we left x plus 1. So what we have is just 2 plus 6. So that's for question 9. And now we can do question 10. So still question 10, we got something similar, which is a plus b times a plus b. So now we can take out a common factor, a plus b. So after you take out a common factor, you can give a bracket again. So a plus b times h, you don't want a plus b, so what we want is just the h. If you don't want the a plus b, the only left that we have is is k. Okay, so that's for question 10. So now we're moving to question 11. So you can see there's 3 terms, so we need to find a common factor of these 3 terms. So 2, 8, 6, they are both even number, so definitely we have 2 as the common factor. So we can write the 2a as 2 times a, plus 4 times 2b, plus 2 times 3c, isn't it? So now we can take out the 2 as our common factor. That's the only common factor that we have, isn't it? So then we can write it as a plus 4b minus 2c. So now moving to question 12, we have y squared minus 13y plus 36. So if you still understand how to use the cross method, you can just take the y and y. The 36, because the middle one is the negative sign, so the positive 36 need to take 2 negative numbers times together. So we can try the negative 4 and negative 5. We cross it together, we will have 9y. This is negative 4y, this is negative 9y. If you plus them together, you're going to be equal to negative 13y. So its bing bong is the same as the negative 4y. So now what we're going to do is to highlight these 2 things. So the answer is going to be y minus 4 times 1 minus 9. So that's for question